place looks. I pulled in here. What was a Tuesday night and drove by the track. The front of this place, the presence this track has is by far and above the most beautiful racetrack we go to.
See the grandstands there, redone several years ago. It's areas, hospitality areas.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Truck Series here at Indy. Finally back to racing. Not quite oval racing this week. We're going to be doing a little bit of rectangle racing. I haven't ever raced the trucks here, but I've raced Xfinity and the next gen here and found some success. So one of these drivers is going to be looking to replicate that here tonight. Oval racing this week. We're going to be doing a little bit of rectangle racing. Just over 4 minutes left here in practice now. See a couple familiar names up front here on the top of the scoring chart. Travis George, Justin Nava. We've got a new driver making their series debut here, the number 40 of Eugene Hawk. He's showing some speed out here tonight.
Slap back, however, if you
For those of you that are tuning in, and some of you may know, we tragically lost one of our racers, the number 6 of Ben Thomas, since we last raced. You'll see a couple of these drivers out here supporting Ben Thomas with a custom-made livery. You see here the 53 of Chris Weiniger. Supporting that paint scheme. The number 6, of course, flying high. So we'll do something a little bit special for him tonight once we get going. See Sean Happick, another one with the number 6 on his hood. practice going to be coming to an end here. Again, a few familiar faces up top the charts here in practice. Travis George, Justin Nava, Eugene Hawk, Bobby Grady, KT McCann gets his way to the top 5 spot here. David Meacham, Zachary Tyler has made a surge here as well. We'll see what these drivers can do when it comes time to qualify. See which one of these drivers will look to make their way out on track first. Looks like Eugene Hawk is going to be the first driver out on the track, and he was quick in practice, so we will stay on board with him. See what he's able to do. Eugene Hawk out of turn 1 now, going into turn 2. It's a really important corner in turn 2, as well as turn 4. You get that huge run onto the long straightaway, so exit speed very important here. John Shields, as of right now, makes his way towards the top of the field qualifying. Eugene Hawk shortly behind. We'll see if he can improve that here on lap number 2. See him getting all the way out to that wall. Coming out of turn 4 now. Looks like he had to lift a little bit. That's going to hurt some of his momentum now coming off the corner. We'll see if he can try to take control of that pole position here. It looks like he's going to stay put for now. Travis George, though, in his first attempt. Bryce Tucker, Patrick Camber now making their way towards the top of the podium.
Yeah, you won't be seeing these type of times during the race. I actually did a couple of practice laps, and these tires are going to get chewed up quick here. I mean, track temperature is at 118 right now, so she's cooking.
track. He had a pretty quick lap here in practice. We'll see if he can improve it. His second run here, I believe, his second lap. I think this is his second lap.
Yes, sir. Does not look like he improved it.
Yep, he's going to stay put there. So
Right, while you're giving these guys their little spiel, I'm gonna start handing out some EOLs.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, we will get into our starting grid here. It's usually a mouthful, so I'm going to let you guys just take a look at this here. Travis George. We'll go through the top 10 at least here. We got Travis George starting on your pole here tonight with Patrick Camburn just on his outside. We've got the 98 of John Shields in the second row with Bryce Tucker. Again, another driver making his debut. The number 40 of Eugene Hawk is going to be starting in P5 with Brandon Dayhoff in P number 6 on the outside. Row number 4, we've got David Meacham and Sean Happick. And just following those two, we've got Clint Hackett and Chris Weiniger. That's going to round out your top 10. Let you guys take a look here at the rest. We'll go through these guys as we get these guys getting figured up here, get them sorted with their driver's meeting, with their information that they need. And don't mind number 26 position car there. That would be me, Bryce. I accidentally selected the wrong button, so I will not be on the grid tonight. So ignore that, and everybody else behind me will just be bumped up one spot from their starting position. A little bit of track information for you guys here as well. Let's see, 58 laps tonight. Stages at 14 and 29. These drivers will be awarded with 3 extra tire sets, plus the tires that they have on the vehicle now, so they'll get 4 sets in total. 78-degree ambient temperature outside. Track temp 119 degrees, so a little bit warmer than maybe some of these guys are used to here in the truck series. Yeah, again, Indy's a track that can be pretty rough on tires, so shout out to all you guys in chat showing support for your drivers as well. We appreciate you guys. It looks like we may be wrapping up here with our pre-race penalties. Is that correct? Get these drivers sorted out here in just a moment before we go and get these drivers moving. And We all set?
Yeah, I'm gonna start them out if you're good.
Yep. Alrighty, and as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, I'm gonna do something a little bit special here tonight. Again, to honor Ben Thomas. And once these guys get up here, Ben Thomas, again, as I mentioned, highlighted some of these drivers in practice. Rep the number 6. So we're going to go 3 wide in our first 2 rows here to equal 6 trucks just to do something special for Ben. We got some of his friends, as you can see, climbing up through the field now. The number 97 of Brett Pritchard and the number 40 of Eugene Hawk, close with Ben, so we wanted to make sure we got these drivers up here as well. Just want to show love to the friends and family of Ben. Keep them in your thoughts and your prayers as they try to manage this difficult time here. It's never easy losing a loved one or a friend. So again, just keep those drivers in your thoughts as they continue to go through this. But you can see it now. 3 wide here for these first 2 rows. 6 trucks rather. Looking pretty good up there. And I have a feeling if we see this during the race, it may not work out as well as we see it working out here. But nonetheless, you know, again, it's a crappy situation, but Ben was very loved by his friends and his family, of course, and we didn't get to experience his presence too long here in the league, but nothing but good words were said. So that just, you know, goes to show you how special and how awesome of a guy he was. So we'll give these guys some time to get back organized. Lights should be off on the pace car now this time, so we'll be going green the next time by. As long as we get everybody up to speed and ready to go. Still counted the green flag there, huh? That's interesting.
Yeah, they couldn't catch up to the pace car, couldn't you?
Gotcha.
They were going a good 10 mile an hour slower than the pace car was during that shout back to our guy there.
Alrighty, so now officially lights off on the pace car, and we will get this green flag dropped here. Alright, so we're going to have 10 laps to go for stage 1. It's going to be a short stage with that little mishap, but nonetheless, these drivers are able to get it handled and keep it under control. I'm excited to see how these trucks are going to do here. Again, I haven't ever ran the trucks here at all, so I mean, I ran the Xfinity car here a handful of times. I've ran the Cup car here a couple times, and I love the way that this track drives with those two. So I would imagine it wouldn't be too different than those. But
yeah, like I said, I ran a couple test laps. It's actually decently steady, but once you start getting some heat in them tires, you can get a little slick on the bottom if you're not careful coming out of the turns.
Gotcha. Well, here we go. We see these cars now, or these trucks, on the front stretch, getting ready to take the first green flag of the race and get this thing underway. Green flag officially in the air. See a couple trucks towards the back, a little slow and off pace, but everybody gets it clean. Travis George has what I would consider the preferred line in turns 1 and 2 on the inside. We see Clint Hackett getting a little loose, able to keep his truck under control. He was mentioning it earlier in qualifying how important it is, though, to get a good run off turns 2 and 4. These long straightaways here at Indy, you really got to prioritize. And we see a little bit of bump draft in shades of the Daytona 500. Travis and Patrick up front looking to extend their lead.
Yeah, entering the corners is I mean, don't get me wrong, it's important. But coming off these corners with how long of a straightaway you got, that's essential to do. To get off from them really well, and drafting here is going to be huge. I wouldn't be surprised if you get quite a few cars that just take off in a pack.
Yeah, and I know how important the dirty air is, again, in the next gen, and even, you know, we've got experience here in the Indy car as well. I don't know how much of a factor that's necessarily going to play with the trucks here tonight, but, you know, again, if you can get some solid trucks here in a line, you can really make a forward push and really put a gap on the field.
It looks like 93 got a little sideways there. Meacham's taking advantage, so is a 7 car.
Yeah, Matthew Chase now under a little bit of pressure from Thomas Long after that quick little bobble he had coming off of turn 2. Looks like they get through it cleanly, though. Thomas Long going to get the better of him there. Sean getting a little loose off 4 as well. Seeing a couple of these drivers now getting loose off 4 and off 2. Just goes to show you how important it is and how hard these guys are getting on it to really try to get a good run here on the long straights.
Oh yeah, and the longer, like I said, the longer you go in this run, the more heat you get in them tires, the more wore down they get. They're going to be kicking them rears sideways real quick. I wouldn't be surprised if some of them kind of reach out and touch that wall on them exits.
Yeah, I got it pulled up here. We talked about it at the top of the broadcast. 119 degree on the track temp, so a little bit warmer than some of these guys are maybe a little bit used to. I'm sure that's going to play a little bit of a factor as well here tonight with some of these drivers. But so far, so good for the 16 of Travis George. Looks like these top 3 cars really trying to make a breakaway. We see David Meacham lingering just on in the background, trying to hang on here. We see about a good gap here between the top 17 trucks or so. Getting a little bit of separation now with a second pack starting to form.
Not sure if you got the word or not, but they're looking at about 17 to 18 on fuel.
Yeah, again, not going to come into play here with our tribute to Ben. but definitely later on in the stretch, that's going to call for quite a few pit stops there, green flag, if we get that good run. So definitely going to play a factor. And we talk about it, how important pit, not only pit strategy, but pit execution is as well. A lot of time to be lost and or gained on these green flag pit stops. So these drivers are also going to have to prioritize that and their tires with how many stops we're going to have as well.
Just because we did that thing with Ben, for Mr. Thomas there, before green flag dropped, those laps actually did not count.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I might try to, I don't know if it'll make a difference. Let me try to reload this overlay because I'm showing we are on lap 5.
We are on lap 5 as of right now. Yep.
Okay, cool. And then again, once these drivers come back around, we are going to do a moment of silence for the number 6 of Ben Thomas. And as I say that, caution flag flies in the air. Looks like Daniel Quinn potentially involved in this one. Let's hop on board with him. 3 wide. Yeah, the 8 just kind of gets into him. Kind of hard to tell from that angle of who came up or who came down. Oh yeah, looks like Sammy Moser just kind of got a run in the corner and got on him. But nonetheless, as I mentioned, we're coming up to lap 6 now, so we're going to cut the audio here and do a moment of silence. All right, and there we have it again. Another moment of silence for Ben Thomas tonight. See a couple cars towards the tail end of the field, though, make their way down pit road, just maybe trying to top off on fuel, or maybe they had a little bit of damage that they were trying to get taken care of there after that last incident. Travis George, though, done a good job up to this point. Able to maintain the lead. Again, those top 3 trucks are really trying to pull away from the field there. Get a little bit of separation. But we will see who will be there in the long haul with that tire wear that we had mentioned earlier. And again, that's really going to come into play as the race goes on. About 18 laps of fuel. Depending on how things play out, that could be a 2-stop race under green flag pit stops. Now you start to see these guys lining up 2 by 2. Lights should be coming off on the pace car this time by. Green flag racing will resume here after the conclusion of this lap.
Yeah, this is a very long racetrack.
Yes, it is.
2.5 miles, to be exact.
It doesn't really feel that long on track, though. I mean, that's Daytona length.
I mean, when they're moving, yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it goes by pretty quick for the most part. It takes darn near a minute to get around it, though, even under full speed.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, I don't know if they ever did run trucks here in NASCAR. I know they always ran IRL here with the trucks, but I'm not sure if they ever had the trucks on the full course Indy or not.
I want to say they did them last season, if I remember correctly, but I can't pinpoint it. But yeah, the Roval, a great track here. I just came off running that here. GT3 is a little bit different, obviously, but it was a blast. Indy Roval is one of my favorite road courses that they run here on the NASCAR circuit.
I do like the Roval, yes, sir.
The roll angle, since it's not quite an oval here.
Yeah, so it's Lucas Oil Indy Raceway that they usually do.
Gotcha. Yep. IRP.
IRP, I think it's called.
Yep. IRP. Yep. But Travis George takes the green flag. It's a great start here.
Oh, we got connection off the start. Looks like we had a little mishap right after the green flag there. Somebody hit the inside wall.
Yeah, green flag stays out though, so it looks like everybody able to manage around it. Travis George now trying to extend that lead. Andre Carvalho looking to make a move here off turns 2 as well.
Looks like it was a 97 that checked up hard. He slid right into the inside wall.
Ooh, I think that was the A.S. Sammy Moser coming real close to that wall. Off of 3. Looks like most of these guys now getting settled in. Trying to generate those runs, and now we see it looks like Bobby Grady, I believe, looking to make a pass on John Shields, going up the inside of turn 3. See if he can get a good run here. Randy Cornwell looking to attack as well, so Grady able to clear him. Cornwell trying to clear Shields as well. It looks like he does, so those two drivers are looking to go on the move, make their way back up towards the front.
Yeah, Mr. George is he's dominating this race so far, looking good.
Yeah, John Shields falling back a little bit as well. He's down 12 spots from where he started. And on the flip side, hard charger Justin Nava, he's up 12 spots from where he started this race. So a couple of guys moving up 12 spots, but in the opposite direction from one another. See Sean Happy moving up through the field as well, looking to make another move here. Sean Happy now gets his way up to the 7th place spot. Coming to just a few laps to go. before the conclusion of stage number 1. Travis George, though, doing a great job of controlling this race. We see a bit of a 4-car breakaway. Same 4 cars we saw before the caution came out. Travis George, Patrick Canburn, Eugene Hawk, and David Meacham now. Coming to the white flag here in stage number 1. We see a little bit of separation here between the pack, where most everybody's single file up to this point. Bobby Grady, though, looking to make a move on RJ Carvalho down into turn number 1. Will he be able to complete the pass here? And will Randy Quinn be able to capitalize on this opportunity as he did earlier? Looks like Andre holds on to it on the outside in 1, but will Grady get it done here in 2? Side by side, doesn't complete the pass. Andre should catch a little bit of that draft from the trucks in front of him, but Cornwell looking to follow Grady. And Grady does clear Andre into 3. Again, Cornwell looking to capitalize on that as well and try to get him a spot.
But something happened to KT. I don't know if he got loose or if he just let the 7 go, but there's the end of stage 1, Mr. George.
Yeah, Travis George able to hold on and get stage number 1 under wraps here. Done a great job so far, again, controlling this race and staying in that clean air that's so important here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Could take a little bit of time to catch the pace car here again at the 2.5 mile circuit we have on our hands. We'll let these drivers get down pit road, and then we'll see if we can't get in touch with the 16, Travis George. See how he's feeling out there on the track. See these guys coming in at turn 3 now, so we'll see who's going to be making their way down pit road. We see these drivers now peeling off, coming down, going to be looking to top off on Sunoco race fuel and get 4 fresh Goodyear tires. So far, everybody making their way down pit road, nobody electing to stay out.
Another good thing with it being a 2.5 mile track, everybody's still on lead lap.
Yeah, hard to go a lap down here and on a stage that doesn't have that many laps unless you have a pretty critical issue. See leader Travis George, he takes 4. Maybe. Oh, close race off pit road there.
Yeah, it was. Looked like a little bum drafting going on, too.
Yeah. Again, maybe these drivers got the Daytona 500 up on their other monitors, getting a little bit of inspiration from that. But let's see if we can't get in touch with the man himself, Travis George, in the number 16, able to get another stage win here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. How is the truck feeling out there for you tonight?
Feels pretty good, man. I put in a couple nights putting in some practice here, and it's kind of prevailing now.
And how important is it going to be to manage those tires with the fuel that we have here tonight? You know, a couple of green flag pit stops here potentially in that final stage. So again, how important is conserving your tires going to be?
It's huge. You can feel the tire fall off in a couple laps if you're running it too hard. It's going to be a big thing, I think, tonight. Especially if we get any long green flag runs.
Gotcha. Well, again, man, congrats to you on stage number 1, and good luck to you here in stage 2. I know that clean air is important, and so far it looks like you've been able to hold on to it, so we'll see if that trend continues for it. Good luck to you in stage 2, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, so we kind of touched on that, but we got confirmation now officially. I mean, these drivers feeling the tire fall off in just a handful of laps, so you know, you take that and you multiply that over an 18, 19 lap run, and can only imagine how strong the fall off would be and how important it would. I mean, especially that right front here at Indy takes a huge beating. I mean, pretty flat track overall, so that right front's going to be screaming. We see the lights off the pace car drivers now making their way closer and closer to the Geico restart zone, coming out of turn 3 now. Driver's done a great job so far of keeping it clean. We did see one incident early on in the race. But other than that, we've been clean. Travis George now coming up on the restart zone now. Will he get another good launch like he did on that last restart? He was able to pull about 2 to 3 truck lengths on the rest of the field.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, gets another good jump, and Patrick there close on him. Or not Patrick, I'm sorry, excuse me. That's going to be Eugene in the number 40. Gets a great launch. In P3, you do get a little bit more of an advantage from being on the outside. You're able to really see when that lead car fires off.
Yeah, I always try to kind of sneak out of line just enough to where I can see that lead car take off, and that's what I go by. And obviously, the further back you go, it doesn't really help you out at all because you still got to wait for the cars in front of you. But like you said, third, fifth, right up there in line, you should be good to punch it once he does.
Yeah, and I think Sean was able to make up a spot on pit road and gets another spot on KT on the restart, so that's going to put him up now to P4 for the race. So he's been able to move forward. A driver that we've talked about multiple times about how important and how much he really stresses tire wear. And from what it sounds like from these drivers, that's going to be very important here. So we'll see if that falls into any favor of number 52 of Sean Happett. I will say one thing about this track is these cameras, you don't really get to see a whole lot on track, but again, so far everybody for the most part single file, just trying to get in line, try to size up a move.
Yeah, I'm watching Sean right now. He's got to get his truck a lot lower than what he's getting it. I was telling them that in practice too. You really want your truck to be on the white or right below it. You can actually get a little bit of grip if your tire actually touches that white line. You get grip off that paint. But sometimes he's a good half lane above that thing.
Yeah, and something that I do, you know, I've done in the Xfinity car and in the Cup car later on in the run is when that right front starts to get a little warm, I'll even play with fire and try to get my left sides just on that rumble strip just to get that extra little bit of rotation, even if it's just for a moment. Again, kind of gets the truck pointed in the right direction. But like you said, we'll stay on board here with Sean as he goes into turn one. You'll see a little bit of a seam just above that white line. Looks like Sean may be driving it in a little too deep, as you mentioned. That's not going to help his tires at all. And one thing that I've really noticed about Indianapolis is this is a track that you really want to prioritize your exit speed. Even in turns 1 and 3, this is not a track that you want to drive in deep. That'll really affect the wear on your right front tire. So if you can be patient and get on those brakes early enough and back up the corner, you'll be surprised at actually how many dividends that pays out.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was saying before, I mean, entrance it's not key here. It is important, but yeah, the exit, that's where you're going to get all your speed off of that. And these two guys up front, the 16 and I believe it's the 40 here, they've been religiously going down there and touching almost that rumble strip like you were saying. They haven't come up above that white line in these corners at all, and they're showing it. They're right out front.
And that clean air, ever so important as well. I mean, maybe not as affected as much as the next gen or an IndyCar per se, but clean air is generally the best air to get on track. So I'm sure that's playing a little bit of an advantage for them as well. But these top 5 trucks now getting a little bit of a breakaway on the rest of the field.
I'll tell you what though, that 40 truck he is glued to that 16.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Travis George up front, but not a super comfortable lead. Eugene Hawk right there putting the pressure on him, ready to pounce if he does make a mistake.
I don't want to say it too loudly, man, but I almost want to put these guys on a 2.5 mile track like every week.
I'd be down. I'd race it. If it were Talladega or Talladega or Daytona, I'd be down. I'd run every week. I'd provide a live broadcast from the in-car if that were the case.
Yeah, I know you would. You love your super speedways, man.
They're a blast. They can be anyway.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I saw your comments earlier about the new package. I know that, as far as the next gen is concerned anyway, I know that quite a few people have been critical, as we see a slight moment there from Clint Hackett, but I've seen quite a few people, just in personal experience, or rather it be on Twitter or X now, I guess, or whatever the case may be. Package is definitely interesting. I like just about everything about the package, apart from how easy it is to lose the draft. I feel like you can still be in the draft and lose the draft, which is crazy to me. We did see a little bit of that in our recruitment race that we had 2 Fridays ago, but apart from that, I don't necessarily mind everything else. But that's definitely one key thing that I think is kind of made it quite interesting for the package.
Yeah, so the draft loss, easily losing the draft, that's a huge downgrade for me. The other thing was if somebody's on your right side, the way the arrow is on these next gen cars, if you got somebody on your right side, it's like you're hitting the brakes on your car, and that's gonna make you lose the draft even more. But I don't know, man. It's mainly because the air that's going. Oh, we got a caution.
Yeah, it looks like maybe John Shields. He was a guy that was having a little bit of potential issues. Again, he dropped back quite a bit the last time we had mentioned him, but hop on board and see what happens. Looks like he was... Oh, boy. Well, all in all, not too bad. He looks like he was trying to make his way down pit road. Locked up the brakes. I believe that will be the conclusion of the stage as well. So stage number 2 was scheduled to be at lap 29, so that is going to do it. So a little bit of misfortune from John Shields goes in favor of the 16 of Travis George, able to sweep these first 2 stages so far. I'm going to hand it on over to you. I got something to take care of. I'll be right back.
This guy hands it over to me while I'm in the middle of taking care of something. All right, so it looks like Travis George was the winner of that stage. That's stage 2. From here on out, we got. Hey, if we don't get any cautions, we might actually get a green flag pit stop tonight too. But that, like I said, that's the end of stage 2. So it's to the end now at this point. Gonna be a lot of tire saving going on. I think this stage a lot more than what we were before. Fuel is definitely going to come into play as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some fuel or pit strategy on this last run to the end. So I'm not sure exactly what happened to Mr. George, but he's actually showing 11th right now. So he's for the first time tonight, he's going to have to work his way up through some traffic. Mr. Eugene Hawk, the 40 truck that's been up there right in second pretty much all night, he's going to be leading the pack with Patrick Hamburn, the 84, right on his outside. We'll see if George can is as good in traffic as what he was out front. He don't have that clean air anymore. '40 truck gets a huge jump right off the line. I mean, he's out there probably about 2 or 3 car lengths, so good jump for him.
All right, yeah, do apologize about that. Duty calls, literally.
Yeah, I was saying that we looks like Travis George had something maybe go on pit road, or I'm not sure what happened, but he's showing off in 12th now, so he's going to have to work his way up through traffic for his first time tonight.
Yeah, this is where we'll find out how much speed he really has. But the 40 of Eugene Hawk able to get a huge gap on this restart, though.
Yeah, he had a heck of a restart, and then he got off from turn 1 really well and just left.
Yeah,
Got to be careful out front, though. I mean, open air is fantastic. It feels great. You're not being pushed around by the truck in front of you, but at the same time, you can overdrive your truck real easily.
Yeah, and we saw Sean Wilder actually make slight contact with the outside wall. Randy Post makes contact with the wall as well off of 3. A couple drivers maybe just pushing the limit a little too much. Easy to do here at Indianapolis, though, that is for sure. So far, though, so good. Travis George has actually lost a spot as well. He was scored an 11th, as you said. He's P12 right now, so maybe we'll see if he can use some pit strategy to try to make his way back towards the front.
I'm actually going to take a minute, and I think I'm going to go back and see what exactly happened. Because I am curious.
I mean, that's a lot of time to lose on pit road, so.
He hit his pit box just fine. Oh, no, he did have to reverse it a little bit. He was too far close to the wall. That's how he lost all that time. He was too close to the wall and had to push it farther right into the box.
Yeah, and that takes a lot more time to do than if you just overshoot it, that is for sure.
Yeah, it did. Wow. He lost a ton of time. You know that broke his heart when that happened, because all them trucks, he just seen one right after the other past him as he's still in his pit box.
I thought we were going to see somebody go down pit road, but it looks like he just got loose. It looks like that was Brad Dorr, I believe.
Mr. Happy is hanging around in 4th. Not really doing much of any moving, but he's definitely better than where he started.
Yeah, up 3 spots from where he started, or 4 spots from where he started. And again, I feel like these long runs, this is where he's gonna, this is where he will start to shine. So we'll see if he can keep those tires underneath him and Try to make a late surge here at the end.
Good Lord, talk about movement. Hyperdrive driver, Mr. Justin Nava. 29th he started. He's up to 5th. That is 24 positions.
Yeah, and we see, I believe that was Travis George. He collects the wall off of 4, so he's really pushing that truck, trying to get his way towards the front. He has to be careful, though. Don't want to make too many mistakes here to get towards the front, because that could really end your race.
Yeah, somebody that's actually gone the opposite direction for biggest mover, lost 17 positions so far, Mr. John Shields in the 98. So there's definitely a lot of movement from where everybody started, but we'll see if these, like I said, tires are going to come into play here huge. How many laps are there? There are 58 laps.
23
so we got,
left.
Yep, 23 left to go. And you get about 17, 18 on a full tank, so we might see some people maybe take some rights only.
I was just going to say, on a track like Indy, depending on how long your run is, 2 tires is something that you can probably get away with if you can make it work. It may help free the truck up a little bit as well, get you that little bit of extra rotation.
Very possible. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody does it. I'm actually kind of hoping somebody does do it and see what they end up with.
Yeah, Justin Nava now putting the pressure on Sean Happick. Nava looking to continue to move forward. But they are being smart and working together and trying to catch these front 4 or 5 trucks. Well, I guess the front 3 in front of them. You don't want to battle for too long and lose too many spots, especially if the leaders are starting to pull away.
Yeah, that 40 truck he's pretty much keeping about the same amount of distance to second place there.
And again, we'll see who will be able to execute on pit road. Justin Nava, though, still really close to the 52 of Sean Happick.
I know what you and me would do if we were in those two's position. I know they're not teammates or anything, but you know, if I was behind you and Sean was you or whatever, I'd be just pushing you, using you to get to the front.
Yeah, and you'd save a little fuel naturally as well, being in the tow. That's what's really hard, though. In the Cup cars, for sure. Had a race here a few weeks ago, and you know, you can push each other down the straightaways and make up time, but in the Cup car, you just lose so much time in the corner because of all of the dirty air. So again, I don't know how much that's going to play a role here tonight with the trucks. As we see now, maybe a slight bobble from KT is going to put Sean on his bumper now. But yeah, if these trucks can work together, I mean, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Nava and Sean were teammates last season, so they do have a little bit of experience racing around each other and how they race. But it looks like we might be having a battle for the lead now. Patrick Camburn looking to make a move on Eugene Hawk down the backstretch going into turn 3. We'll see if Hawk can hang on to the outside. It looks like he's just going to tuck in behind. Maybe try to perform a little bit of a crossover and get the run, which it looks like he does get to the quarter just barely. The 84 gets loose off the corner. That's going to give the position back to Eugene Hawk. So jockeying for position, battling for the lead here with 20 to go. And we have our 4th caution of the night. Brett Pritchard looks to be involved in this one. We'll hop on board with him and see what it looks like from his point of view. Oh, okay. I'm not really sure, honestly, what that was. I mean, we see a car up into the wall, the 88. Just, I mean, I don't even really know how to explain that, to be honest with you. The 88 just hooks a left. I'll hop on board with him and see if maybe he got some damage. Yeah, I mean, we see him sawing the wheel to the left. I don't know if he's got damage or what there, to be honest with you. I'm not really sure. It looks like he may be hurt just based off how that truck is leaning. We see a little bit of damage on the right front. Doesn't make contact with the wall, though. I'm not sure. That's a weird one.
Well, one good thing with this caution is that this right here is going to make it to where they can make it the rest of the way. Like I said, they were about 17, 18 on a full tank, and it's going to be 17 to go once the pace car crosses the line now. So.
Drivers for sure should be within their pit window now.
Yeah, and I can't see anybody taking two here. This is a full four tire stop.
Or do you take tires at all?
I absolutely would. Tires seem, everybody's saying the tires really are important here, which I believe with the track temp we're looking at. Yeah, I wouldn't. If you don't take tires and everybody else does, you're going to be a sitting duck. I mean, you're losing 2-second time after 14 laps to pressure tires.
We saw Eugene have a slight mishap on pit road. So that shuffles him back down to P3. That's going to cycle Patrick Camburn to the lead with KT in second. Travis George, I mean, he makes a couple positions on pit road. He gets back up into 8th, but still going to have quite a bit of work to do to get back towards the lead. But I know we don't have much experience with Eugene Hawk, but I'm sure this is definitely a race he would like to win.
Yeah, and I'm not seeing anybody that did take two, not up front anyways. I gotta see what happened to Nava.
He's scoring, showing P7.
Okay, maybe it's just the scoring is off on till they cross the line.
Yeah, I know they're looking to get lined up, so he's hovering around 6th or 7th.
Gotcha. Gotta love iRacing and their little bugs. Yep, you're right. He's back up to 6th. All right. That had me wondering there for a minute.
Understandable. Especially with the run that he's been able to make tonight. We've seen the leaders able to get a great jump on these restarts and get a good lead. We'll see if the 84 Patrick Camburn can do the same.
If anybody's good at restarts, though, I wouldn't leave KT out. KT is actually pretty darn good at restarts, even though he's not leading the pack. At the same time, he's right up there. So I wouldn't be surprised if that 86 don't get too far ahead of him.
Well, I guess time will tell here as these drivers come out of turn 4 now.
Yeah, my mistake. Sorry, 84 I meant, not 86.
84, 86, 23, 42. It's all the same. 4, 8, 15, 26. 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. You know, if you know, you know. Those would be the numbers from Lost, by the way. Anyway, restart zone now. Patrick Camber looking to get a good jump.
84. Oh, Sean's going to end up pushing KT here, just as I said he gets good restarts.
Yeah, so 3 wide almost into turn 1.
Yeah, it was close. That 40 is ready to go.
Oh, KT's loose.
He's giving KT the bumper a little bit.
Yeah, so Eugene gets around KT, but Eugene now.
40's loose.
Tokyo drifting. Oh, big wreck. Sean Wilder involved. Oh! David Meacham. Dead. Get that man in the infield care center immediately. We will hop on board with him for his wild ride. Yep, just gets into tire barrier and just gets shot in front of the field. Wow. I mean, still gets a faster pair, but David Meacham going to have to tow.
Oh, yeah, 99 came right down.
Yeah, just gets up in the marbles, gets loose, gets hooked up with his teammate or ex-teammate. Yeah, David Meacham just gets absolutely annihilated.
That's a hard hit.
Yeah. That's one of the hardest hits I've seen on iRacing, let alone at this track. Really unfortunate for David Meacham there, just nowhere to go. Turns into a flying saucer. I believe the 88 of Daniel Quinn as well. Shades of Ryan Newman's crash at Daytona a few years ago. Kind of the same story.
So for those of you joining us tonight, very much appreciate it. Don't forget to join in tomorrow night for our Xfinity race at Martinsville. Xfinity is, we've been off for... No, I guess we did race last week, wasn't it? Atlanta?
No, we had the All-Star race.
Oh, that's right. Yep. So back at it tomorrow night at Martinsville, the short track. That's going to be interesting.
Yes, it is. We go from a draft track in Atlanta to off a week to an all-star race at Charlotte in the Gen 6 car. And then now we're going to the paperclip at Martinsville. So complete opposite ends of the spectrum there. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun, maybe. We'll see. That's to be determined.
I actually like Martinsville. It's one of my better short tracks for sure. It's huge rhythm track, man. It's all about rhythm, hitting that brake at the right time, getting off at the right time. I mean, obviously it's like that on any track, but you're barely on the throttle for much more than maybe a second or two, and then you're right back on the brakes. So
Yeah, real quick, I gotta ask David Meacham, first and foremost, are you alive and are you okay?
Emotionally, I've been better, you know.
I mean, that I was just telling Will, that is one of the hardest hits I think I've seen on iRacing. Definitely the hardest hit that we've seen here in this league. Yeah, it turned into a flying saucer there, and then you got hit with a little bit of
emotional damage.
Yeah, it happens. It's a learning league, right?
Yeah, that is correct. Well, glad to see that you're okay and they've gotten you out of the infield care center. Good luck to you here for this last little stint, and hopefully you can keep all 4 tires on the ground this time around.
Thank you.
Yeah, there it was. We saw the hellacious impact that he had there. Again, just hits that tire barrier at a bad angle, and for those of you that know what Beyblades are, that's what David Meacham turned out to be. Yeah, Ed Novel with the clip. Thanks, boys. Appreciate that. Yeah, that was a hellacious hit. $13 to go. Who do you got your money on here tonight, Will?
that 40 car is definitely showing a lot of speed. If Travis George was still up there, I'd say he'd had one heck of a shot. I mean, he's not too far behind, but he's still got a decent amount of cars he's gonna have to get through. I wouldn't count him out yet, but I think my money's gonna be on that 40 car.
Yeah, and since you took my pick, I'm gonna go with number 15 to Justin Alva. I mean, he's up 24 spots from where he started. I mean, he's got a little bit of work to do, but third in line on that inside line. So if he can get a good start, he might be able to put himself in a good position to make a move here down the stretch.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Sean up there in the top 3 podium finish tonight. He's been hanging around 4th pretty much all night, and I know that 40 truck was really pushing that thing this last stretch enough to where he Tokyo drifted it around 1 and 2. So
yeah, he did, and it was a hell of a save by him. But we'll see Patrick Cameron now in the restart zone again, looking to get a good start.
That was a beautiful start by the 40, right on top of him.
Yeah, he's looking to make a move now. Not quite clear. We see jockeying, though, for position already.
He wants that clean air.
Yes, he does. And hard contact in the wall. Kean Fry, another driver as well. Big junk. Sean Wilder involved again. It looks like the 88 involved again. We got another driver spinning after the fact. A lot to unpack there. We need to rewind that back and see if we can try to make sense of what happened there. Happened very quickly. On board with Kean Fry. So far, so good. Oh, the 51 gets loose. Makes a little bit of contact with Kean Fry. Gets into the outside of wall. And then we kind of lost it from there. Yeah, just makes contact with the outside wall. I mean, really doesn't hit anybody else, though. I mean, definitely makes it sketchy for these guys, for sure. Let's hop on board with Wilder, who had damage from that last incident. Yeah, Wilder just makes contact with Kean. Of course, the field checks up, nowhere to go, and Wilder gets involved. So it looks like the 98, the 88, the 99, the 14. A lot of trucks involved.
A lot of them involved. Your favorite Tennessee truck got involved?
Yeah, that truck, well, I don't know if I can say that, so I'll refrain. But, yeah. Well, I do know one thing. We are getting down to crunch time. And we've seen that 40 be aggressive. We'll see if that'll come back to bite him, not only just off of truck condition, but maybe some of these drivers not going to be as patient with him and may look to give him some of the same treatment that he gave them.
Yeah, and we're 10 laps to go right now, so it's go time. These guys don't really have to save their tires too much either with a short run like this that they're going to end up getting. Yeah, that 40 truck's, he was aggressive again on this last little stint here that only lasted like a couple corners, but he does not want that 84 leading that first lap. He's taking it.
Yeah, and we'll see how good of a start he can get. Going to be on the outside, and we've seen him be aggressive, but I don't know that we've seen him start from the outside here on the top row. So again, we'll see how that plays out and if he can try to capitalize, or also can't rule out that we might get some contact here. And if somebody like Sean or KT or even Randy Post or Nava even, if these front drivers make contact and these guys can avoid it, they might sneak away with a win here.
Looks like Meacham was the lucky dog on that one. How far back was he?
So he might still be another lap down, but maybe not. I think he is on the lead lap now.
I think he is as well. That's, well, lucky for him. He's not going to have very many laps to try to work his way back up, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, he's going to have a lot of, tail end of the longest line, though, showing I still think we got about 30 or so on track. So it's going to be a lot of ground for him to make up, but if we get another one of those cautions that gets a lot of guys in trouble like that, he may be the beneficiary of it as well. So he might be able to gain a couple freebies. And I know Sean Happig now has the points lead, able to get some good stage points tonight. But Randy Cornwell, a few spots as well. I believe, if I remember correctly, he might be second in points. I know he was leading there for a good while. So if Sean can get a podium here, that's going to help extend that lead even further. He's gotten some good stage points tonight, so I know he's going to be looking to do that.
The way the 40's been driving off these starts, I wouldn't be surprised. Watch him get loose in turn 1 and 2. Turn 1 anyways. He's going to try pushing that thing a little harder than what he even was these last 2 runs. And like you said, this is the first time restarting on that outside, and he's not used to them marbles yet. I guarantee he gets a little sideways.
Yeah, I will say, though, I do have a little bit of success here on the high line at Indianapolis. You can make it work, but there is a fine line between being too high. So not a total disadvantage necessarily on being on the outside if you can do it right. But again,
cold tires though, man. You got to remember your success always came with worn tires or at least warmed up tires. These guys are starting out with, they're cold.
Well, after that long Tokyo drift that he had, his tires might still have a little bit of more heat left in them than some of these other trucks on track. That's for sure.
Yeah, we're looking at a track temp of 120 right now too, which is crazy, man. The air temperature is only 78, but that track is 120. That thing is cooking.
Yeah, well, 32 cars on track as well. That'll obviously increase the track temperature with all the cars going around and the sun beating down on this dark pavement. That'll do it. And again, track conditions that some of these guys maybe aren't the most used to having to deal with. But some of these guys able to make it work though so far. But here we go. Geico restart zone coming up. We'll see just how aggressive this 40 truck will be, and if he can maintain a little bit late of a jump. Sean Happig going to give him a nudge down the front stretch. But already we see him trying to cover that inside.
Yeah, he decided not to go outside there, so that was smart on his part.
But already,
heck of a run.
Yeah, I was just going to comment how that's like the biggest lead that we've seen from the restart off these last restarts. But before that thought was even able to process in my mind, Eugene Hawk able to get to the rear bumper.
KT is knocking at Eugene's back door here, though, man.
Yeah, I know KT's hungry for a win. He's been with us now
Oh, there
for
he is,
2
sideways.
seasons. Yeah, he gets on the apron. He gets a little loose. Sean
overdriving
also
that car.
pressing. Yeah, he is. He really can tell how bad he wants this one. He's going to have to tone it down for a lap and try to hold on. Randy Post now able to try to capitalize from the lack of pace that these guys are having from pushing so hard. Sean Happick now going to be too wide with Randy Post coming into turn 1. These front 2 trucks starting to pull away, but will they both finish? I know they're both pushing hard, and again, not going to rule out any contact here from these 2 drivers. Things starting to iron out here now. Top 3 trucks, single file, pulling away just a little bit from Randy Post and Sean Happick.
Yeah, Happick on that backstretch gave Post a little nudge, like, we got to go, man.
We see him now swerving on the front stretch, trying to avoid the draft, but Eugene looking to make a move now on Patrick Camber, and he's sliding up. A little bit of a self-clear, but he is clear.
Crossover.
Eugene Hawk, though, going to try to carry the momentum, getting pushed a little wide. That's going to open the door for KT to get a run. KT with the run now.
Ooh, that was close, too.
KT with a huge run down the backstretch. This is going to open the door for Sean and Randy if they can just hook in line. And as I say that, KT able to squeeze now into P2, but Patrick's going to be looking to attack again. Sean able to get around post. So if these drivers keep battling like this up front, that's going to open the door. Sean hard into the wall off of 4. Randy Post coming close to it as well. Don't know how much damage that's going to give Sean.
He's now, no, but he's going to lose at least 3 positions from it. 2.
Eugene.
He's hanging out a little bit there.
Yeah, Eugene's starting to run away with it just a little bit, though. But the way these guys are racing hard, we might not we might not be over. We might not be done wrecking.
Oh, Travis George gives the 22 a little shove in the corner.
Yeah, Sean on the bumper as well. Four to go here at the Brickyard. Travis George now looking to make a move on Sean Happick. But that gap for Eugene is just getting larger and larger.
Yeah, the biggest thing going on right now is between 6th and 9th. Looks like they might be getting spread out just a little bit there now, though. But that was quite the battling going on right there.
I know just how important this must feel for Eugene Hawk. Debut race, looking to make his name, of course, again with the news of Ben Thomas, and Eugene was a very good friend of Ben. I know that this win is going to mean a lot to him if he's able to hold on to it and get it. So 3 to go here when we cross the line. Again, you see these drivers jockeying for every ounce of real estate that they can. Gap almost 1 second to KT McCann in second place.
16 and 22 are sitting there just beating and banging doors in them corners.
Yeah, looks like 16 gets him cleared, but Cornwell going to dive out here and peek the nose. And Justin Nava, he's up to P4. I don't know that he's going to get to him, but if we do get a late caution here, he might be able to make something happen. We see a couple drivers hard into the wall off turn 4. Sean having a close call with the wall off too. And there it is, yellow
There's
flag.
your caution.
Now
Did you see what happened or no?
I'm about to pop on it now. It looks like the 14 of Key and Fry and potentially the 93 of Thomas Long involved side by side into turn 1. Oh, and John Shields, the way that looked from Keen's point of view, John Shields may have gotten some help. Yeah, just to stack up into turn 1. Looks like the 19 of Andre comes in a little hot. Gets into the rear bumper of the 98, who then gets into the rear bumper of the 14 and sends those two around. Yeah, you see the 98 just has to check up. The 14 slows down a little bit more than maybe the 98 was anticipating, and maybe a little bit too much front brake bias on the 98 and sends the rear end around, and again just gets collected in the back. Like I said, caution comes out. Justin Nava, he's going to be lurking. I hear the Jaws music playing. And as we mentioned on the last time around, we've seen how aggressive the 40 has been on these restarts, and he is going to be the control car now, but if one of these other drivers is able to get to him, will they rattle his cage? We see maybe a little bit of contact. I do know one thing, though. The intensity is going to continue to ramp up from this moment on. It just got real interesting, though. It really did. Now, Eugene's been driving pretty hard. We'll see if it's going to hurt him here. He should have the advantage, of course, of the restart and the clean air, but he has definitely been driving aggressive. See if that'll come back to bite him here. Here we go. Light's going to be off on the pace car. These guys are going to get lined up 2 by 2. And this is what I think I could see happening here. We've seen how aggressive Hawk was on the restarts when he was behind Camburn. now Camburn behind Hawk. So we'll see if that comes into play here.
Don't know. Hawk's really been getting some good restarts, especially with him out front like that and controlling the restart. He's going to get quite the jump here. I wouldn't be surprised if you're pretty close, though, if that 84 decides to drive it into one a little deeper than what he normally has been.
Or if he's just able to mimic that restart as well and just put the pressure on. I mean, we're getting to that point in the race where guys are potentially looking out their mirrors a little bit more than their windshields, and that could definitely force an error that you don't want to see. But guys like Randy Post, Justin Nava, even KT going to be looking to attack here. Going to have a natural green-white checkered when we come to the line. Here we go. The questions that we have are about to be answered.
Yeah, and we ain't making it around all the way to the green. I can guarantee that, too.
Great jump.
Holy cats, what a jump. Like, he shot off like a rocket, man.
He did.
I don't know what he is doing to get his truck to do that, but holy cow.
Yeah, he took off. Some movement on the backstretch, though.
Two cars into the outside wall. 99 and 4.
Green flag, though, still in the air.
They tandem ran up to that wall.
And Eugene Hawk's going to take the white flag, so the next flag will end it. Justin Nava, though, looking to make a move on the outside of KT. Tough battling here. Second through like seventh, we got a lot of cars.
Sideways. I think he might have gotten some help, though.
Yeah, that was part of that group that was really close. Looks like Nava able to clear. Aaron Creighton getting into the wall in the background. Cars flying everywhere. Trucks flying everywhere. Pretty comfortably, this one's going to be Eugene's, but now it's just a battle for everything else.
Justin Nava with second. 27 spots up. That's impressive.
And Eugene Hawk comes away with the win. Justin Nava, P2. Travis and KT battling at the line, but Travis gets the better of KT down the back or the front stretch and able to salvage a podium after the chaotic race that he had here tonight. And you said it, we weren't going to get back to the or we weren't going to go under green, and I mean maybe there are a couple incidents that should have led that to be true, but nonetheless, Eugene Hawk comes out on top.
Yeah, there was a lot going on that last lap or two.
See Eugene Hogg burning it down on the front straightaway. Wins his debut race here in high velocity racing. Let's see if we can't get our top 3 in the booth for the post-race interview. Still haven't gotten anybody in there yet. All right, we got 2 in here, so we'll go ahead and get this underway now. I'll hop on board first and foremost. The number 16 at Travis George. A little bit of an eventful night for you. You get make your way towards the front and get shuffled back, and those trucks that were up front were really battling hard there at the end, and it looks like you're able to capitalize and come away with a P3 with a close finish there with KT on the front stretch.
Yeah, that was kind of my own doing. It was a mistake of mine. I went a little too far left in the pit box and lost that time. It dropped me back, I think, to 12th. So, yeah, it wasn't easy passing either. I found that out after being in the clean air at the start for all that time.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. You know, obviously you've had a fast truck all night, and we were wondering to see how that was going to pan out with you getting in the dirty air, but nonetheless, still able to salvage a pretty decent finish and get yourself on the podium and get you some good points for today as well.
Yeah, on that last green-white checker, I just got lucky, and it stuck real good on the outside both times, and I was like, okay, maybe we might be able to get a top 5. And then the next lap pulled off a couple more spots, and we had a good run there right at the end with KT. He was trying to give me a little nudge, slow me down a bit because I had the run going.
Yeah, well, it all works out for you again, man. A podium for you, good stage points, swept stage 1 and stage 2, so that's going to be a huge bonus for you. Congrats on your P3 finish. And before we let you go, is there anybody you want to shout out or thank?
Oh yeah, just my whole team again, KW Motorsports, for putting on practices and sharing info and everything along the way. My wife for letting me do it again.
Yeah, always got to get that one in there. That may be the most important one. So that was the 16 of Travis George, able to come away in P3, but now we move our focus to Justin Nava. 27 spots up from where you started this race, man. One hell of a push for you. Congrats on that. And how does it feel to walk away with a P2 here?
Man, honestly, I didn't even think I'd get as far as P2 after starting, I don't know, what was it, 29th, somewhere around there?
Yeah, you were towards the back.
Yeah, 29th.
29th, yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. To come from 29th to second, man. One heck of a freaking run.
Appreciate it.
I mean, was you confident that whole race or whatever that you were going to make your way to the front? Did you? I mean, obviously something happened in qualifying to where you started way back there, but did you think you had a truck to get up there to even the top 5?
Well, the qualifying, something was wrong with my wheel, so I was trying to get it fixed, and I didn't make it in time to qualify. But no, I just doing a lot of practice. I mean, I did feel confident moving up through the field. And I don't know, I felt like there was 5 or so more laps I could have contended for the lead because Hawk had a pretty good lead there at the end.
Yeah, those trucks got the battling up front pretty hard, and I even mentioned it before that last restart. I figured that would be the case, and you were in a good position there to try to capitalize and make something happen, and it works out for you, able to come away with a P2 finish. Of course, obviously, as racers, we would like to be in first, but nonetheless, a podium for you is not a bad finish, man, so congrats to you on that. And before we let you on out of here, man, is there anybody you want to shout out or thank?
Yeah, appreciate y'all guys for everything y'all do. Appreciate it to my brother making the skin for me. You know, give him a shout out and just to the old lady letting me race and have my time with the guys on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, that was the number 15 of Justin Nava able to get it done here tonight in P2. But now we move on forward to our winning driver here tonight, making his league and series debut, Eugene Hawk. We talked about it at the beginning of the race, man. Your debut race here, a lot on the line, of course, dealing with the loss of Ben Thomas as well, man. How important is this win for you here?
This win means everything. I just Ben had asked us a couple times to come join us here, and I wanted to. I didn't really know if I should, and if it felt right after losing him to do something that he wanted, and I hope that I did him proud here.
Yeah, well, I mean, you had a good truck there in practice, a good truck in qualifying, and we saw you there on that late restart there. I mean, you were making some pretty aggressive moves there up front, and it was awesome to see, just how close you guys were able to race and how hard you guys were able to race, and you're able to get it done, man. Talk to us, kind of what was going through your mind on those last few restarts there, trying to get every ounce of the track you could.
Yeah, I mean, I saw through the start of the race and all through the restarts throughout the night that everybody was getting off the throttle into turn one, and I felt like we didn't really have to do that. And so in stage 3, I took advantage of that. Of course, through stage 2 too. Once I had the lead, I don't know what happened to the 16 truck after the first stage, but just some good racing with Camber. And I took advantage of turn 1 and took advantage of turn 2. It felt like they left a lot of room for gain, and just saw the hole and took it.
Yeah, so just to let you know, the 16 truck, after that second stage there, ended up getting too close to the wall on pit road, so he had to reverse it and get farther out to the outside of his box. So he lost quite a few positions, went from lead back to 11th, I believe. But man, your restarts were just they were astronomical tonight, man. I swear it looked like you were shooting off out of a rocket every time you took off, right? When you were controlling the restarts, like how are you doing that?
And most people, it's a game. I mean, anytime that you go in the restart zone, it's a big game, and there's a lot of strategies that you can pull off to get a good advantage. It just a lot of guys like to wait to the middle of the restart zone, and so it's easy to time up the restart from 3rd or 4th position, because you know that guys are going to go right in the middle of the restart zone. So as soon as I hit that restart zone and I know that the back of the truck is clear, I'm going. And it's just something different, because nobody really ever goes at the start of the restart zone. It's usually either in the middle or in the end. So that was, when I was the lead truck, that was how I was able to shoot out of the cannon. But when I was following, I just timed it up. As soon as that lead truck hit the middle of the box, I was going, because I knew they were going to fire off, and that's how I was able to stick to the back bumper of the 16 and the 84.
Yeah, those jumps, they definitely helped you get out there in the lead tonight, as far as getting out pretty far from them. Getting your multiple car lengths from them. But you had a heck of a truck tonight, whether you were leading the pack at the restart or not. You'd make sure you got that truck right back out in the lead as quickly as possible. So.
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out, a big thank you to Fontaine, and happy for letting me come in and join this. This was a lot of fun. I mean, a lot of guys had really good racing out here today. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. Hopefully we see you again. Are you here full time, or is this going to be a part-time gig?
I think this will be a full-time thing. I think it'd be the best way to honor Ben. Just want to do the most I can. I can't believe he's gone. It really shouldn't have happened. It's still such a shock.
Yeah, definitely understandable, man.
Yeah, I mean, we're glad to have you and everything, and look forward to seeing you hang around the track, and keeping Ben's spirit alive every time we see you out there. Everybody's gonna be thinking of Ben at the same time. So even though he's not here, he's with us in spirit, and he'll be running around that track with you every week, dude.
Thank you all very much. It was very good racing, a lot of fun. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for joining and being part of it. Congrats. P1 in your first race, man. Like Will said, glad to have you and look forward to seeing what you can do in these next following weeks, man. But nonetheless, that was Eugene Hawk, the number 40 truck, making his name heard here in his first race. Got the results pulled up for you now, but as Will mentioned earlier, the racing is not over for the week. We have Martinsville in Xfinity tomorrow. Short track race in the paperclip. It's going to be tight. It's going to be fast but slow at the same time, and I'm looking forward to it. So thanks everybody for tuning in and being part of the racing here tonight. Again, we got Xfinity tomorrow, and then we'll see you guys back on Sunday for some more truck racing. So thanks for everyone that was